as if you are doing everything right, but you're not feeling any better. That was me, and I know that it's thousands of other women out there who is, eating less, moving more, stop the snacking,
Counting
calories,
Yes.
trying to be more positive, but it's not working. The weight is not budging. The waist measurements are getting, your waist is getting bigger and bigger, and you're feeling exhausted. And what happens? We blame ourselves that we're not doing enough, that we're not we're not working hard enough, we don't have more willpower. That's what we say to ourselves. But what if that's not true? What if it's the fact that the advice that we've been given may not be up to date, may be oversimplified and outdated? And that is what we are going to talk about today at Whole Food Revolution. So I am Dr. Nelum.
And I am Ronit. I'm a happiness coach. And we are
Whole Food Revolution.
Look, one of the biggest myths is that we hear a lot about women is, about willpower and discipline and, try harder. And, if you just had enough of what it takes, you just don't have of what it takes. And we just simply don't believe that is the truth.
Well, I mean, we know that that's not the truth, Ronit, because the advice that women have been given come from, this advice firstly is decades old, so it is very old research, and it's not based on women. Most of the research was based on men, and there were reasons for that, but women, and even if women were included, then when the results came out, they weren't kind of analyzed for women. And also the realization that particularly women over 40, our biology is different, it's changing, and there is very little research on that. And really, I love the tagline that Stacey Sims uses, which is, women are not small men. We can't use the advice given, from the past to men and expect that works for us now.
And realizing that we change, I don't think it's really something that needs to be, explained big time. That what you could eat when you were 15 or 20, I was like, now you eat it and it's not the same. Your body doesn't react the same. It's like, that when you had a cut when you were young, it took much faster to heal, and all those things, you knew that. So
you could bounce back a lot more quickly.
Yeah. So basically the reason we say it's updated is because the hormonal change, metabolism change, the way you react to food change, the way your muscle build itself, or
absolutely
it changes. Stress, oh my God, it's like, look at what stress does to children, look what it does to us. Recovery takes longer. So basically getting those big slogans of just eat a little bit more or just move more, you remember that? I remember when I was young,
eat less and move more.
Stay away from fat. There was millions of books, fat-free products, fat-free. I was like, and people followed them.
Yes.
Because, how do you know that this is outdated? How do you know that this is based on a pyramid that was designed so many years ago?
Yes. And it's not even that it was designed, it was just that it was based on inaccurate data. We know that now, right? And I suppose it's just now recognizing that women or midlife and above, that things are changing, that there is a multitude of different hormonal changes that happen, and hormonal, biological, neurological. There's so many changes that we need to have information and advice that is current and up to date.
And I want to give you an example for you to understand why it needs to be current. If I gave you a GPS and I said, okay, you need to get from here to that place using your GPS. Your GPS is so sophisticated now that it basically adapts to what is happening now. It's like it could tell you there is a police officer.
Yeah.
There's
a
an
roadblock.
accident, a roadblock.
Yeah.
It can tell you those things. Now, what would happen if I gave you a map that was 40 or 50 years old? I gave you the map. I told you to go from here to the other side. Do you think that you get there exactly the same way? No.
Well, you may never get there.
The truth is you may never get there.
And that is the point.
And that
right?
is the feeling that women have when they think that they're doing the right thing and it's still not happening. No wonder you're using a very old map. You would never get there using that map. We think you need current GPS.
Yes. And also it's recognizing that it's not your fault. You know, and to, as we say time and time again, being kind to yourself, you know. But the difficulty is knowing how do you find this map?
Look, we recommend...
this GPS.
This new GPS. How do you find a new updated GPS? The thing is this. We think that the best GPS is actually inside of you, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
And it's constantly telling you there is a roadblock. You're just not listening to it.
Exactly. We just don't listen because we're so busy, right?
Yes.
Life is so busy.
Oh, and I would dare say that I think the everything around us is promoting us not listening to it.
Yes.
Why? Because when you're not listening to yourself, you're a wonderful wallet.
Yes.
And it's very easy to sell you anything. So
and when you're scared.
And scared is an easy way of making you a good wallet. And look, we in Whole Food Revolution, our philosophy is that we need to help you awaken that GPS inside of you. And I'll tell you, it's a very simple way of looking at it. Whatever works for Ronit doesn't work for Nelum. You know, we're doing exactly the same work here, but Nelum needs to know what works for her. Ronit needs to know what works for her. Why? Because this is her GPS telling her. My body is telling me, no, don't, you cannot eat that thing. Because
you need to get to sleep earlier, or you need to go and move your body.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in Whole Food Revolution, this is our philosophy. Our philosophy is that you can find your own GPS, and we're here to help you find it. Because when we remove the clutter, we remove the myth, we remove those things away from your life, you can basically see what is good for you. Again, we're not telling you that we know what's good for you, okay? What we're doing is basically removing the obstacles
so that you can find out your own GPS.
Exactly.
And find out what's best for you.
So this is Whole Food Revolution. This is what we believe in. This is what we would love you to believe in. And if you do like what we're doing in here, please share, subscribe, like, go check out other videos.
Write us a comment, you know, if there's something that you want to say.
No, we actually like answering them. So write them on.
Yes. All right. Well, bye.
Bye. See you in our next video.